Thank you, everyone. So now we're going to show you a little piece of All-Star code.
Okay. All right, so actually, they want to get standing again. This is called the I Have Failed exercise. We do it in the first week of our program. Okay, Kofi, can you model, please?
Yes, I can. I have failed.
Woo! Please clap for Kofi. All right. The goal with growth mindset is how you implement it, right? Because it's one thing to say, oh, embrace failure, but to actually celebrate it. So in our classrooms, we literally do that. It's no, I'm going to do it. Can you clap for me? I have failed. Yeah. All right. And you too, you're all successful, which means you've all failed a lot. So we're going to ask you to say, I have failed, then we'll all clap for ourselves. Now, when you do this, you've seen the TED Talk, power poses. Right, so you got to be big, all right? Because you have to own it, all right? 1, 2, 3.
I have failed.
Woo! Thank you very much. It is an honor to speak before this assembly. You'll be hearing from Kofi very shortly. I am Christina Halpern, the founder of All-Star Code. And what you saw there is the emphasis that we have on mindset and on soft skills, which we believe is hugely important. In fact, the defining factor for our students, who are 80% Black and Latino boys, for our students actually succeeding in pursuing careers in computing. And that is what we do. We ensure that our students, that we build a new generation of diverse entrepreneurs and ones who have the tools to succeed in technology. The whole thing about the problem, but we know. Tech, super important, super impactful. Programmers, if they're not running the world, they are running the software that runs the world. At the same time, poverty, class mobility is declining, intergenerational poverty, the difficulty of socioeconomic change. In focusing on Black and Latino boys, we have an opportunity for being a laboratory of solutions that work, because it's depressing, but the challenges facing this group, for example, less than 30% of African American males actually graduate from high school in New York City. We can get at a number of these problems of class mobility and others by focusing on solutions that successfully bring them into the tech sphere. And we do that in a way, again, as I said, teaching coding. We have a 6-week summer intensive, very rigorous computational thinking, but a strong emphasis on mindset. And then these soft skills culture. And I'll say now why we believe that that's so important, and it's personal. My father's name was Reginald F. Lewis. He was born Black in 1942 in segregated Baltimore to a 17-year-old woman who never graduated from high school. He went to all Black schools. He had a Black Little League, a Black college, but then he was catapulted into an all-white world via a Harvard Law School access program. And from there, he became a white shoe lawyer and then ultimately completed the most successful a $1 billion offshore leveraged buyout and buying a company called Beatrice International Food Company. And at the end of his life, in 1993, was the CEO of the largest Black-owned company in the world. Thank you. His success is certainly my inspiration. And as I was thinking, obsessed with class mobility, I went back and looked at what distinguished him so much in this kind of crazy rags to riches story. I was formerly a Wall Street Journal reporter, and with my reporting hat, I went up to Harvard Law School, did a ton of research, yearbooks, et cetera, and found that in the 1960s, my father was virtually the only Black student who actually participated in class. And the law schools were far less warm and fuzzy at this point. He was virtually the only one who had white friends as well as Black friends. He was virtually the only one who actually joined the existing clubs. And it is from this that I see that the soft skills, the relationship building, is in fact the defining factor, because it is through your ability to network, to develop relationships, that ultimately teaches you what you need to know as you power through into the world. Of course, hard work is crucial. You have to be willing to do the work. But after that, it's not where your skills are, it's how well you're able to develop relationships so that you can improve them. So among our students, this is what we emphasize. They are, as I said, 80% Black and Latino and 70% low income. And the outcomes of this sort of loosey-goosey approach have been really successful. So successful, in fact, that people often have a hard time believing what's happened. Of our graduates, 75% are attending a top 100 national university in the United States. And again, as I said, this compares to less than 30 minutes. And 75% show an increase in motivation and their desire to work hard. I'm excited here to have you hear from one of our students, Kofi Adu, who is a freshman here at Stanford.
Thank you, Christina. Hello, everyone. My name is Kofi Adu, and 2 summers ago, I had the privilege of attending the All-Star Code Summer Initiative. In 6 weeks, I went from hardly knowing anything about coding to pitching my very own web application to senior engineers and employees of Google. As a young man from the Bronx who is receiving the free tuition as a freshman at Stanford University and on path to major in computer science, I owe a lot to All-Star Code. Of course, learning about arrays, JavaScript, and what an IDE is has been very helpful to my coursework in computer science. But what has been most impactful is the problem-solving, embracing failure mindset. It's hard to explain, but even though the mindset is everywhere, I really had to experience and be taught it to truly understand. By the end of the 6-week summer intensive, my definition of failure had transformed completely. Prior to this experience, I viewed failure like the way society told me to, that in order to maximize success, you must do all that you can to avoid failure at all costs. All-Star Code fostered an environment where I internalized that failure isn't and shouldn't be treated as an end, but rather the first stepping stone to success. That challenging myself to the point where failure is a likely possibility should be perceived as a positive thing. Moreover, being surrounded by mentors and motivated peers who had similar experiences as me allowed me to envision myself in a way I was discouraged from before. For the first time, I saw myself as an engineer, a computer scientist, and a problem solver. For the first time, I saw myself as a leader. All-Star Code has transformed my small-mindedness into a feeling of empowerment to make an impact in the world around me. It has been incredibly inspiring to hear all the work that is being done to make lasting impacts in communities like my hometown, and this summit has energized me to seek ways to leverage my privilege as a Stanford student and skills as a computer scientist to continue the fight against inequality. So with that, I have a request on behalf of this poverty-fighting organization, which is standing up for young men like me. Christina has shared that one of the biggest problems is convincing people that All-Star Code's outcomes are real. I am now asking for data scientists or philanthropists with reputations for great evaluation to please come up to her afterwards and offer help to her about how to validate All-Star Code's results. I am proof that this solution works. So join us in making my reality a reality for thousands of other Black and Latino boys who want to be the new face of tech. Thank you.